Good morning, everyone. 2011 and up, Jeep Wrangler JK. We're going to do the big screen Stinger kit system. The customer provided that, so I'm just basically doing the unboxing, installation, and a quick demo. Let's get to it. Here's the system that the customer provided. As you can see, it's the 10-inch multimedia type of screen. It does have CarPlay and Android Auto, so that's a good thing. Also has HDMI. It comes with this installation kit. I haven't unboxed this one yet, so I'm going to go ahead and take it all out and show you what the contents are. Took me a little bit longer than I expected to take everything out, but I wanted to lay everything out and show you what it all comes as soon as you take it out of the box. It's going to have quite a bit of stuff, so don't get discouraged just because it has a lot. It actually just looks intimidating, which from somebody that's DIYing, it's going to look like it's going to be a tough one, but trust me, it's not really that bad. But I will guide you in everything, show you what I'm going to be using and what's not going to be used. But like I said, everything is laid out right here. That's kind of what you want to do first, just to get an idea. I'm going to go ahead and look at the instructions real quick, just kind of browse through it, just to make sure I have everything ready to go. And pretty much all the parts that I need are in this picture right here. So let's get to it. First things first, go ahead and turn the truck on and just kind of double check, make sure everything works. Radio, all the speakers. I'm not going to play any music just for this type of purpose, since YouTube loves to demonetize you as soon as they hear any music. But anyway, the first thing you had to pop off is this. So what you're going to use is a plastic panel remover. Please do not use flathead. You will damage the edges right here. So use anything that's plastic. And then there's going to be 2 7mm underneath this plastic piece right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this thing pops off, but I will pop that off later on. The radio doesn't seem to sit properly, as you can see right here, but it fits perfect on the other side. But this whole bezel has to come off. The bottom piece also has to come off. What else? Yeah, I can't even really remember, but like I said, just double check everything, make sure all the controls, the steering control works and things like that. Anytime you're doing a customer's vehicle, you always want to double check anything that's going to be touched and more, just to be on the safe side. I've got the rubber piece out. Like I said, there's going to be a 7mm there. I already took that out. Now when you do pop this off, here's how I do mine every time. Like, I hold on to the middle and kind of tilt it a little bit. That way I can insert my plastic panel remover and slowly work my way out. The locking clips are placed on the top and on the bottom, so you just kind of want to wiggle it out a little bit. Now when you get to the plug, make sure you release this locking tab right here. Here's the lock position, and you need to pull it obviously out like that. That way it'll release the lock, and then you'd be able to pop it off. Once you get that plug out, there's a 7mm right here. You will also remove the bottom panel that's located in this area. You just have to wedge the panel remover on the top and start from the very top. All it is just butt clips, so start from the very top and then it hooks onto the bottom and this full piece comes off. Remove 2 10mm, this, and remove this metal bracket. Make sure you have the steering wheel all the way down. You're going to remove, I believe, 2 7mm, which are these. One here, also one right here. Once you get all the screws that I mentioned to remove, this whole dash bezel will just pop off. Now go ahead and put it aside where it's safe, where you won't accidentally step on it or damage it. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the radio being held by 7mm, all 4. Once you get all 4 7mm out, go ahead and unplug all of these. So as you can see, there's not very much plugs to remove, but this is a CAN bus system, so everything's kind of working with a computer instead of everything wired manually. So everything just kind of releases. I believe one of these is the GPS or the AM/FM antenna and a Sirius, and obviously these two are the main radio connectors. The climate control bezel also has to come off. As you can see, everything is removed. The climate control is also nothing but clips, so everything is pretty easy to take off. This do release from time to time, but you're only going to have a cigarette lighter plug, the actual climate control, and I believe this is the side mirrors. So go ahead and plug all that and move this aside. So this is where you should be at this point. Everything is removed, everything is ready. So we're going to go ahead and prep the system, and then I'm going to go ahead and double check the instruction just to make sure I'm following everything. But for now, this is where you should be. Everything removed, everything ready. So let's get to that radio part and start assembling the system. Currently, I'm just kind of following the actual instructions that's provided. That way I don't miss any step. I'm going step 1, step 2, step 3 without skipping anything. So far, it's starting to kind of look a resemblance of an install. So like I said, follow the instructions and it'll all make sense in the end. Now we're getting to the screws department. It's showing me that I need M4 by 12. The only thing that I hate about it is when you take it out of the box, it comes in 3 bags. Here's I have everything as I took it out of the bag. You don't really know which one is which. I mean, obviously it'll probably just fit one way, but it would have been nice to have everything individual that correspond to what they state to use. That way there's no confusion, I guess, for any DIYer or for just anybody in general. So, but I will figure that out and then have pretty much everything ready to go and show you. I've got those 4 M4 by 12s. I suppose that's what's holds the screen itself to the bracket, and then it's also going to come with these 4 screws. Now you don't want to drive it too far out, just to kind of have it stopping at the edge on all 4s. It's going to have a Loctite. This is what's going to be screwed onto the bracket once we're almost nearing the install. So I'm going to go ahead and continue reading the instructions, but so far that's where I am. And it's showing to do the RP4CH11, which is the steering control. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you what that looks like. I went ahead and got back in the Jeep, mounted the GPS right here, ran it along to the side, zip tied to the factory harness, bundled it again with the factory harness. I've got the unit pretty much ready to go. From the instructions, this is how it should look. Make sure this thing is pointing towards the back. The connections in the back. This is all the customer needs. The other plugs have the RCA output for video output. If you want to do cameras, amp and sub, and things like that. But in this application, this is all that we need. This blue wire, these 2 right here are what plugs into the screen itself. So I just kind of zip tied it. That way they're both together. The RP4, make sure you set it at dip switch number 4 from the instructions. That's the Chrysler protocol. Got the brackets right here. Everything is pretty much ready to go. I went ahead and ran the external mic, which we're going to be mounting to the dash bezel. Ran it the same way as I ran the GPS. Zip tied it along the factory harness. So just kind of let everything dangle. As far as the antenna, that's where you need to plug it in to this gray plug. So everything is basically ready to be mounted, and we're going to go ahead and test everything before we put everything back. I also went ahead and dabbed a ABS plastic glue to the USB port. That way that locking nut doesn't obviously go and loosen itself while the truck's bouncing around. But we're gonna go ahead and route this, and you want it to come out at the same area as this harness. So we're gonna go route it behind the vent, because obviously this is where it's going to be located, right here. Here's where we are so far. Make sure you leave a little bit of slack right here, not too tight. And here's the 2 USB cables. Make sure you plug everything in to where they should go. Go ahead and pop that in, and we're gonna move on to the radio portion. I ended up taking the bracket off. This does have the factory bolt hole, so that's kind of what it's for if you don't have it. So I already plugged in the GPS, the USBs 1 and 2, the antennas plugged in, and do not forget the mic right here. It'll be labeled mic for your external one, and then go ahead and put everything in the location where it's going to be. Go ahead and mount the bracket to its location. Make sure nothing's getting pinched in between the metals. Kind of guide it properly. So make sure nothing's getting scratched on the sharp edges. The same way on top. So this is how it should look when you have everything basically bolted up. And it looks like there's a guide right here for the wire. So I'm going to try to tuck that in. And we're going to go ahead and test it out with the screen itself. Just kind of test everything. Make sure the CarPlay works before you put everything back together. Right now I don't have the GPS activated, but as you can see, this is the only thing you need to plug in. So since everything works, I'm going to go ahead and put the whole vehicle back together and call the customer. Now that the dash is put back together like how it was, go ahead and plug everything in. As you can see, the screws are not all the way in per instruction, because now we're going to slide in the radio and then tighten it from the side, lock it in, and get it ready for the actual trim. When the company said that it might not go in very easily, they are not lying. This thing is actually pretty hard to mount it, just because the bracket is kind of more inward. So basically you have to kind of finesse it to where you have to push the bracket in, so whenever it locks in, it has some tension in between, so it doesn't just pop off very easily. But I did manage to do the one side, so I'm gonna try to attempt the other side. So hopefully that goes in a little bit better than the other side, but it was kind of a pain. So I had to, like I said, push it, and then hopefully they line up. So I was just kind of praying a little bit just to get it to lock in. But as you can see, this one's still loose because I haven't tried to tighten it yet. But 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, I finally got one side at least in. This radio definitely tested my patience. The screw was a pain to lock in, but finally 20 minutes later I got everything lined up, tightened and secured. So the only thing left now is to put this trim, and this whole install is done. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick demo. First time turning on with everything put back together. I went ahead and plugged in my phone, so it's gonna automatically connect with Android Auto. Be prepared to kind of push it in when you're locking this screen to the actual metal brackets in the back. That's the only thing that kind of held me back a little bit.